Group of Networks radio station. Sondo's greatest hits are here. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews Primetime.
Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, simula na po ang inyong number 1 koolNews Primetime. Sa ngalan po ni Asphere at Rincar Karaoke, ako po ang inyong lingkod, si Geometric. Sa una sa lahat, bago ito lahat, pero akong sasabihin pong anunsyo, this is home, will be our new slogan for koolNews and Cool FM as a whole. We believe that this proposal will help cement the legacy of Cool FM, not only as a FM radio station, online and on demand, of course, but also to cement its legacy as the only locally owned in the Philippines that is run by a bunch of Discord mods. This is koolNews Primetime. Una sa lahat, Geo News muna tayo mga kaibigan. Kakarating lamang ng mga balita. Si Terry po hindi po umamin na mahal niya si Mika Lim. Ang statement ni Terry na yung gabi ay sabi daw niya na hindi ko mahal si Mika Lim. Ngunit mahal na mahal kong manood ng SpongeBob SquarePants sa STV Channel 31 at si Carla Estrada ng Face to Face at isang programa sa Teleradyo Perwisyo. Teleradyo Servisyo. Samantala mga kaibigan, isama naman din mga balita. MBN, mabaho pa rin ang puwet. Yan din ang sinabi ng mga tao sa MBN headquarters sa Quezon City, kung saan marami nagsabi na ang MBN ang buong network na MBN ay mabaho ang puwet. Patuloy naman sa kahuling-huling natin na Geo News na yun mga lods. John Harley Anyumebo, piyok ng piyok pa rin.
Gago.
At yun po ang mga natin. Napasabi si Mamon ng gago. Ayun, at sige, simulan natin ang ating balita na yon. Mula sa The Manila Times, Taal phreatic eruptions to continue but alert level 1 remains, according to Philbox. Although phreatic eruptions over Taal volcano in Batangas province will continue, though these are not sufficient to raise its alert level 1 status to 2, as the chief of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or Philbox, said in Wednesday. Actually, Philbox Director Teresito Bacolcol said to the Manila Times, I told the Manila Times that the volcano has recorded over 40 similar eruptions since April of this year, 5 of which occurred last Tuesday. He said Taal's latest phreatic eruption happened from 4:21 p.m. up to 4:32 p.m. in Wednesday, with its flume rising to over 2,400 meters above the volcano island. Philbox said that the phreatic eruption was made out of steam-driven explosions that would occur when water beneath the ground and on the surface was heated by volcanic activity. We can expect that similar eruptions would occur from time to time, but then again, its alert status will remain under level 1, Bacolcol said. He said that its other parameters, particularly volcanic earthquakes, remain under almost normal conditions that kept the volcano under level 1, which means there is a low-level volcanic unrest. The Philbox official reminded anew, especially those living in the permanent danger zone, to not go near the volcano since a phreatic eruption could also be dangerous. Meanwhile, we also have a international news. Right now, this October 2, in the countries in South America and in the Pacific, there will be a solar eclipse. I repeat, an annual solar eclipse will happen in the countries in South America and in the in the East Pacific. The areas which will have the countries where the eclipse is visible are the following. The annual solar eclipse can be fully seen through Argentina and Chile, and through a partial solar eclipse in the Falkland Islands. Majority of it can be seen, as well as in French Polynesia, Kiribati, also in Brazil, Argentina, the Pitcairn Islands, the South Georgia and Sandwich Islands, the U.S. minor outlying islands, and among others, other areas such as Wallis and Futuna, Uruguay, United States, Tuvalu, Tonga, Tokelau, Samoa, Peru, Paraguay, New Zealand, Mexico, Kiribati, okay, ulit. Uh, French Polynesia, Fiji, and of course Ecuador, Cook Islands, Brazil, Bolivia, and Antarctica, and American Samoa. These areas, the solar eclipse will happen at exactly 15:42:49, the first location to see the partial eclipse at UTC 15:42. Sa madaling salita, kung sa Manila kayo, alas 11:42 ng gabi mo po makikita ang partial eclipse, while the full eclipse will begin at 16:50 or alas 12 na madaling araw. The maximum eclipse will happen at 2:45, and the last location to see the full eclipse will end at exactly 4 a.m. sa Manila, okay, in Manila time, and the partial eclipse will end at 5:47 tomorrow. The next annual solar eclipse will be on February 17th, 2026. So, dalawang taon. Meanwhile, presidential advisor warns of third wave of war in Sulu after exclusion from the BARM or the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Presidential Advisor on Muslim Affairs Almarim Sentitila on Wednesday criticized the Supreme Court over its ruling that excluded Sulu from the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao and warned that this could trigger a third wave of war in the province. In a DZRH radio interview, Tilian, a former governor of Tawi-Tawi, asked why did I consult him or any native from Sulu on the issue, and that decisions were being made from Manila. Any decision from the government that would directly affect the people should be consulted first. Imperial Manila has been deciding for us ever since, and I was telling this president when he was still a senator to fix the issue on Sulu. The people in Manila must not decide for us, he said. I was never consulted. That's why I was telling the president and sent him memos as to why decisions are being made here. You appointed me as your presidential advisor, Tilia added. He has not received any reply from the office of the president. Tilia noted that there was a petition and plebiscite in 2019 led by Sulu Governor Abdusukor Tan, which he did not participate because it was a product of war. You have to consult the aka the MNLF. Nur Misuari, who is still alive, wasn't consulted, and the civilians were not consulted, he said. He feared that there will be a third wave of war in the province over the High Court's ruling. I'm warning the government and its people because there's already frustration on the side of Sulu and the MNLF, he said. Sulu was excluded from the BARM as a result of a plebiscite that rejected the Bangsamoro organic law in the province. There was a proposal to put Sulu Peninsula, which is their former region before forming the ARMM. Coming up on Cool News Primetime, no OFW hurt in Iran on Israel's attack. On Iran's missile attack on Israel. California passes law allowing Dutch-style cannabis cafes. And DepEd reiterates teachers to not required to teach over 6 hours daily. And lastly, parents can now limit Fortnite playtime. We'll be right back on Cool News Prime Time after a short break. return back to Cool News Prime Time. Ano ba yan? Okay na ba? We're back on Cool News Prime Time. No OFW are no OFW hurt in Iran missile attack on Israel, according to the DMW. This picture, taken from the West Bank city of Hebron, shows projectiles above the city of the Israel city of Ashdod in October 1, 2024. No Filipinos were hurt after Iran fired a barrage of missiles at Israel this week, as the Department of Migrant Workers said in Wednesday. Iranian state media reported 200 missiles had been fired, including hypersonic weapons, for the first time in response of Israel's killing of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah last week, as well as the death of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in a Tehran bombing widely blamed on Israel. Of Filipino workers to Lebanon, which was placed under alert level 3 as Israel continued to purge Hezbollah forces. Meanwhile, California passes law allowing Dutch-style cannabis cafes. Starting next year, diners in the western state of California can now finally smoke cannabis at certain restaurants thanks to a new law that allows for cannabis cafes akin to those popularized in the Netherlands. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill into law Monday authorizing businesses that were already licensed to sell cannabis to serve hot food and non-alcoholic beverages. It will go into effect on January 1, 2025. California legalized recreational cannabis in 2016, but that sell the substance legally remain less popular than the black market. Right now, our small cannabis businesses are struggling to compete against illegal drug sellers that don't follow the law or pay the taxes, as said States Assemblyman Matt Haney, who offered the bill. In order to ensure the legal cannabis market can survive and thrive in California, we have to allow them to adapt, innovate, and offer products and experiences that customers want. Haney continued. Some cities like West Hollywood near Los Angeles have been calling for such legislation for years. The liberal enclave hopes to compete with Amsterdam and already hosts cannabis lounges where dispensaries are attached to separate bars or restaurants. Now, the law will allow any business in the state to follow the same model without falling into a legal gray area. However, not everyone is in favor of this move, however. Public health advocates had expressed concern about the effect smoking cannabis in restaurants can have in long health. Secondhand marijuana smoke has caused many has I mean sorry. Secondhand marijuana smoke has many of the same carcinogens and toxic chemicals as secondhand tobacco smoke, read a statement from the American Cancer Society Advocacy Branch. The new law undermines the state's smoke-free restaurants law and compromises its enforcement, thus threatening to roll back decades of hard-won protections of everyone's right to breathe clean, smoke-free air. California had notably banned smoking in bars and restaurants nearly 30 years ago, the first U.S. state to do so. Newsom had vetoed a different version of the bill last year, citing health problems. However, the new version of the law signed Monday will include parameters to ensure employees in cannabis cafes can wear masks to protect themselves and be informed of the risk of inhaling secondhand cannabis smoke. DepEd reiterates teachers not required to teach over 6 hours daily. Students of Pinyahan Elementary School initiate their Catch Up Fridays program by reading storybooks inside their classrooms on January 12, 2024. The Department of Education reiterated on Wednesday that public school teachers are not required by law to teach more than 6 hours per day as it released guidelines to rationalize educators' workload. The DepEd memorandum announced in a release also said that teachers are eligible for overload pay for up to 2 additional hours per day when they exceed the 6 hour teaching limit. Meanwhile, when teachers have fewer of 6 hours of actual teaching, they could be assigned teaching related tasks but should be proportionate to the time available. DepEd said teachers performing work beyond their regular 6 hours teaching load may earn vacation service credits. These guidelines ensure that teaching overloads are managed transparently with clear procedures for compensation and equitable workload distribution, DepEd said. Agency added that teachers would have flexibility in completing their ancillary or support tasks and give them the option to perform the tasks inside or outside school premises. Importantly, no additional reporting state requirements will be imposed. Instead, teachers will simply track their activities using logbooks, locator slips, or certificates of undertaking, it noted. Teachers and groups have been calling for a reduction in teachers' workload, saying that many are overworked and underpaid, which partly affects teaching quality and student performance. Filipino students have been performing poorly in international test assessments, which led to other reforms such as the overhaul of basic education. By optimizing teachers' workloads and providing fair compensation for additional duties, we are creating a more balanced and sustainable environment for our educators. This will ultimately enhance student learning outcomes, Education Secretary Sonny Angara said in the release. Angara in July ordered a review of teachers' workload and reportorial requirements in order to avoid burnout. There are there are over 8,800 teachers nationwide, catering to more than 27 million students, with a teacher shortage reaching 58,000 according to DepEd. Now we continue with our Geo News. Para sa Geo News mga kaibigan, PBO nag-iere ng kung ano-ano. 7:30 p.m. A Secret Affair. 9:30 p.m. Kiss Mo Ko. At 11:30 uli. Anong klase itong PBO na yan? Ano ba yan? Ine-ere nyo doon? Samantala, alam nyo ba ang shabu ay hindi dapat yung gamitin? Okay? Alam nyo ba ang shabu ay hindi dapat yung gamitin? Tama yan guys. Tandaan nyo talaga yan. Hindi talaga pwedeng gumamit ng shabu guys. Masisira ang buhay mo. Kagaya niya sinabi ni Duterte, huwag niyong subukan. Masisira ang buhay niyo. At ito naman para sa huli nating Geo News na yung gabi. Ang ating Geo News na yung gabi ay si Kuya Will, nakahawak ng puwet. Good morning, Vietnam!
Aroy!
Magsigisingan na si Evan De Mata. Woo!
Good morning, Vietnam!
Tutututut! Mga kaibigan, umawak ng puwet si Kuya Will. Hindi natin alam anong mangyayari sa susunod. Siguro, magchi-cheating scandal na naman yan. At yan,
Willionario Electric Bugalu.
at lastly, TVH Network, lugi. Dahil dito sa kalugi ng TVH Network, gumamit sila ng 2022 graphics. Lugi na po ang koolNews. Lugi na kami lahat. Kami na yung advance. Okay. For the quote of the day na yung gabi, quote of the day mga kaibigan. Let's go. Today, today? Hindi. Quote of the day na yon, just because something doesn't do what it planned it to do doesn't mean it's useless. Sabi ni Thomas A. Edison. This is home, everyone. Thank you very much for watching your one and only koolNews Primetime. We will see you all tomorrow, right here, same time, everywhere. Mabuhay ang bansang Pilipinas, and this is home. Mga kaibigan, this is home.
Oras po natin ngayon, 9:30 p.m. At susunod na nga po ang second edition ng Hangout with Mo.